All right. Day 115, 12:10 a.m. right now. If you're new to this series, this is the journey of 0 to 1 billion. It's basically just me documenting myself every single day, building my business and business models, QLA, private equity, LBOs. But let's get straight to it, right? So, title this video, I already know what I'm going to title it. Cold calling billion-dollar companies. And this happened today, right? So for the new people, just know that I'm going to talk about this. And people on my channel, just so you know, I have stats for today. Today was my off day, right? Off day from defense, but I went ham on offense, right? I got 139 calls in today. I spoke with 41 owners. I had 5 interested sellers, and I had 10 people that were interested in selling, but they were too small. They didn't fit our investment criteria. So those are some good stats. So let me just start off my day. I'll explain like what happened at the beginning of the day. And that's basically what I do every day, guys. If you're new to this, that's what we do. All right, let me get some water. So the new plan for this week has been for me to sleep early and wake up early every single day. I want to wake up at 7 a.m. and I want to be in bed by 10:30 p.m. max. So that way I'd have enough time to fall asleep and I'd get enough sleep. But so far, the first 2 days of the week, I have not been doing it. I'm not gonna lie. I have not been doing it, and it's a lot harder than I expected it to be. Yesterday, I don't know why exactly I didn't. I went to eat after the video. So I made the video around 10:30 and I ate. I went to bed around 11 or 11:30. And the next day, which is today, I woke up at 8 instead of 7. So I already messed up my week. And today it's 12:12 right now. I messed up again. But I'm gonna have to punish myself. Tomorrow we're just gonna wake up at 7 a.m. and I'm gonna keep trying. I'm just gonna keep doing it, right? But anyways, side point. I started off at 8 a.m. and I brushed my teeth, took a shower, and then I didn't even leave my room at all. I was literally in this exact room. All day, basically. I didn't eat or anything. Just straight calls all day. And I'm not gonna lie, so I woke up at 8. I started at like 9-ish. And then from 9 all the way to like around 1:30 p.m., I was just doing straight calls. And within that time frame, I didn't have enough time to hit 200. I thought like my calculations was if I wake up at 7 a.m. and I get straight into it, by 1:30 or 2 p.m., I'd hit 200. And I probably could have done that, but I got sidetracked a couple times. And this is what I'm going to talk about, the billion-dollar companies, right? So I start off my day. I had some lists I had ready from the weekend prior that I was going to call, right? And I start calling on these lists and I speak with one owner. Or you know what? Now that I think about it, because I did 2 lists, I actually did more than 139 calls. I did like 9 calls on that list. So I did somewhere around 150 today. But the other list, when I was calling on it, here was the problem. Like, I'm just straight dialing. Like, I didn't even like check and verify this list. And I'm calling and I find an owner and he's interested in selling. And he's talking about how they're a startup and they make over $1 million a year in revenue, but they have no profits because they're a startup. I was like, why in the hell am I talking to a startup company? Like, what is going on? I checked my list and literally like the first 20 options, barely any of them were people within my industry. So I got frustrated. I don't want to build a new list. So I went to my old list. And that's when I started getting all these numbers that I was talking about, right? So we went ham on the old list. And I decided that this old list that I have, like these government lists, tend to be the best kind of list to reach out to so far from what I've seen. So I'm reaching out. I'm doing my thing. Some are interested, some are not. And I reach out to this one company. And they're telling me how they're just a branch and they're a part of a corporation. So since I have all this new software and it just kind of pissed me off, like, no, I want to talk to the owner. Let me talk to the owner. Stop. Don't tell me no. It kind of just pissed me off a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Maybe in like an arrogant way, but whatever. That's what happened, right? So I look them up on some of the softwares that I have, and I see that on the software it shows that like they have thousands of employees and they make anywhere between 100 million to 500 million a year in revenue. So if you calculate that kind of business's worth, it's like if you're gonna buy that business, you'd have to pay over $1 billion to buy that business. So I look them up on the software. I see that the CEO, there was a chairman, and there was a board member. I cold call all of them, man. And I'm over here talking to these like crazy big time people. Yeah, like, do you have any subsidiaries that you're interested in selling? And they're like, who the fuck is this guy? I don't know. I wanted to give it a shot. I was curious enough to find out and curious enough to try it, but didn't work. But it's very interesting. Like, you could reach out to high level people with the right softwares. It's insane. Especially like with email, because it's a lot easier to get their email than their phone number. But yeah, those are the numbers from today. And I have to, another big piece to this, guys, is follow up. Like, I probably so far from the work I've been doing from like the past month or so, I have about maybe 50 follow ups that I could do. And I just don't do them. I don't know why. I should definitely get on top of my follow up. But yeah, I don't do it for some reason. It's like, even what I'm looking for, it's like when I find it, I don't assume that it's there. I'm still like blind to it. Like, I had 5 people today that were potentially interested, and I told them like, hey, listen, we could schedule another time for a better meeting or further dialogue. They're like, yeah, let's do it. So yeah, so they were down for that. But anyways, another thing, the reason why I had to stop at 2 is because I had to meet my lawyer for the case I have going on. And that took about maybe 3 hours of my time. I came back home after the lawyer meeting, which I'm not going to explain any details about that. It's a case, it's confidential. I come back, I ate, I went straight to the boxing gym, went to the bail bonds, I got my meal prep, and now I'm here. But something I do want to talk about is the boxing gym. And I tend to forget mentioning in this video, like, I work out every single day to the point where like I don't even mention it in the video. Like, I worked out yesterday. I didn't mention it in yesterday's video. I worked out the day before that, and I didn't mention it in that day's video. But it should be like so automatic. Like, you should know, like I need to work out. Like, it should be like an itch. Like, it should bother you if you don't, you know? And I guess it seems like I don't if I don't mention it. So definitely gonna start mentioning it. I saw this video recently. It popped up on my YouTube somehow. I forget how I saw it. It was this video of this guy's channel. He had like 100,000 subscribers or something like that. And it had such a weird thumbnail and a weird title. I click on it, and this guy created a whole channel. He's like an anonymous guy. He has a whole channel where he creates a Tinder profile of, he's acting like he's the girl. Like, I guess he has like a friend that's a girl or something, and he like made a profile under that person's name to see like what kind of guys are out there trying to get girls. And something he mentioned that it was so funny at the time, but it's actually so true now that I think about it, is like everyone that's like, to be like normal nowadays, you have to be a gym head. Everyone's in the gym. It should be normal to like work out. Most people, I would say, work out, or no. It depends on the age category. Most people my age work out, I would say. But I definitely noticed from like different jobs I've done, like most people don't work out, but it's like a new generation thing. It's like cool to work out. But it's so standard, like, do I really have to mention it? Or am I just being like, I'm kind of being douchey right now? Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, so another thing that happened is I was talking with this guy maybe like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. It's kind of like an agency that helps people like myself that want to do M&A. They find them off-market deals, and they're like super hot deals. And this guy's agency makes insane money. And I reached out to him and we were talking about working together. And I was open to the idea, which honestly, thinking back to it, like, okay, I don't want to do that, but I find his business model so interesting. I think if I wasn't doing what I'm doing now, I would potentially be doing what that guy does. But something I did is like I added all the people in his company on LinkedIn. And the one thing I really, really want to figure out about this guy's business is like, how exactly does he build his list? Because I asked him this before. They basically do like a bulk list, like a dirty bulk list, right? And then they filter through the list until it's like about 3,000 to 5,000. And I want to know exactly how he does that process, and then the rest of it I can figure it out. Like how you do your follow-up, what kind of systems you have in play. You have a setter, and then you have an extra appointment, and then you give the lead off. And he actually mentions that like he gets too many leads, that he has to filter them out to give you the best leads, like the person that pays him. And I talked to him, and he took forever to reach back out to me. Maybe like ever since the time I talked to him, like a week or two ago, he hasn't hit me back. I don't know why. I thought maybe because like I added everyone in his company on LinkedIn, like it probably spooked him away. But he finally hits me back on email, and he tells me like, oh, like I had a super high influx of customers, so I was super busy. So this type of business has so much demand, and it's not being marketed. It's really word of mouth. Perfect business model. But I was thinking about asking this guy, like, man, just, or maybe not him, maybe someone like in his company that works on deal flow. Like, I want to ask him specifically, like, dude, how much do I have to pay you just to like teach me how you do it instead of me fully doing it? But then he'll get spooked because of like competition, sign a non-compete NDAs and shit. But what if I go to one of his employees and say like, I'll pay you 500 to teach me, like 1,000 to teach me how you do it? I'm willing to pay that to learn, because that is like an insane business model, and it kind of runs on autopilot for the owner. Potentially, I don't know. He definitely works on like getting the clients. That's his main work. I don't want to think of like, oh, like I could do this and that. I don't want to be like that, but 100%, if I have the deals going on, I can have this agency as well. Like, it's such a good idea. It's such a good idea. It like itches my brain. I can't stop thinking about it. It's such a good idea. And not only that, there's an actual billionaire that has done that same business model. He's Japanese. I think he's about 31 years old. He's like one of the newest billionaires. I forget what his company's called, but it's an M&A business, and they make about 5% of the transactions they conduct. So if you do like, say like a $100 million transaction, he's making 5 mil from one customer. Yeah, it's crazy game. Crazy game. M&A has a lot of money. What else? Yeah, I'm gonna head out and go to sleep. Peace.